Hello, and welcome. I finally got a new intro. It is me, your internet friend. I wanted to do something different tonight, and that is we're gonna draw some patterns, because I haven't done that in a long time, and I want to. So we're doing it. They might be kind of quick, because it's mostly going to be like the boises. But just like their heads and stuff. And then maybe like a detail or two. We'll see. We'll see. Ash Browns, thank you for the follow. I hope you are well. But yeah, I figured this might be a little interesting for anybody who's wanted to try making patterns but didn't really know how. So I can show you how I do it. Cosmos, hello, and thank you for the subscription. So what I'm gonna do is, actually I'll do it like this. Put like one here, and then I'm gonna flip this like that. Do another one down here. Oh no. I'm mostly flipping it because the bean shape that I draw all of their heads with is for some reason easier for me to draw facing this way. And I'm trying to take it easy, you know? Gonna give him a big old smile on this one. I guess a little bit of muscle memory, but mostly because it's like easier to draw this kind of curve because my hand is this way. Like I'm right-handed. You know what I mean? That makes sense? That's my assumption. I guess I'll figure that out in a minute. Let's go with this color for now. That seems fine. Davio, hello. Welcome. Oh. I always want to do the thing that Procreate does that lets me like auto draw a shape like that. When I do that first little hair thing, but it never works because it has to draw like this curve and then this curve, which just is not a thing that this program knows how to do. Or probably any program actually, but you get the idea. Do I like the beach? I do. I don't go super often, because I usually prefer the cold to the heat. And most of the time, if I'm by a beach, it is warm. But I went to school in a place that like was cold and also kind of near a large body of water, so it had a beach as well. It was pretty nice. You discovered something big about your identity. That's pretty cool. I'm glad that you made this discovery. Congrats. Turnip. Hello. And thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it immensely. I don't like this teeth. Oh, congrats, Davio. I need this smile to be bigger. I think is what the problem is here. That's probably fine. I don't know how many of these patterns I'm going to be able to do, but I want to get through at least like 2 or 3. Because the process for them isn't like especially difficult. So I'm hoping I can power through a few of them. That's pretty good. But I'm thinking I'll probably do tank and I'll probably do Jesse. And then after that we'll see. See what happens. Key, hello. Welcome. we're doing some patterns this time. Key. So not like a normal standard drawing. Do I want to put shading on these? Is now the question I'm having mentally in my brain. I don't know. I feel like the answer is no. I forgot about that on this other one. That's why it looked a little bit strange. Forget like one little detail and suddenly it's like, who is this child? Ah. This little shape tool is so helpful. Oop. It's like one of my favorite things about Procreate, honestly. Like thinking about how you have to kind of do that in other stuff like Photoshop or Clip Studio. How it's like 3 or 4 extra steps and it's like, ugh. So glad this exists. Like Procreate doesn't have a ton of features that are like ones that I prefer over other programs, but that is certainly one of them. That's definitely not a thing that's gonna happen. Okay. Sometimes you just kind of have to get close and then sort of sculpt your way there to the finish. Yeah. Good enough. Okay. I can turn that off now. And we want these to be right in the middle. So I guess now's a good time to figure out what color I want this background to be. Usually if it's tank, the background is red is what I go with. Alphanin. Welcome, Alf. I appreciate the follow. But yeah, usually it's red, but this is usually the color shirt that I give him, so let's try that this time and see how that goes. It might work, it might not. Work rate, please. Sometimes work rate doesn't like when I do gestures. It makes me sad. Work rate. I think it's because I'm trying to do it with the same hand that I'm using the pen in. Sometimes it's like, do you want to draw? And it's like, no, I don't. Stop it. So if I do it with my free hand, then it's all like, oh, you want to do gestures? It's like, ugh. That looks so weirdly like extra red against his background. It's the local color for you though, folks. That's why usually if you're adding color to things, it can be helpful to fill in the background color before you add the other colors that you're planning on using. Because the color that you put next to the color you use can affect the way that that color is perceived. The more I'm looking at this, the more I want to do red. Maybe I'll do pink. Pink might work. I almost kind of want to just like stop after one, just so I can go back to playing Route 96 or Road 96. The game is fun. I like it a bunch. Highly recommend if you are looking for a new game to play. Oh wait, did I turn on the timer. I did and I stopped it, so I'm gonna stretch now. Ugh. And I'm also gonna open a window. Okay. Timer's officially begun. Actually, for real this time. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna change this now. Where was that pink? It's a little better, I guess. Let's try like a middle ground, kinda. That seems okay. So we need inside mouth color. Let's go here. Now the question is, do I want to... Yeah, I probably do. I was going to say, do I want to like give him blushy cheeks? But I always kind of do that a little bit, so I feel like it would look weird if I don't do that. See you later, Davio. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. Oops, don't need that grouped. Alright, so just to be sure one last time that these are in the middle. Because it'll be important. Alright, so I'm gonna flatten this here. This because I'm not sure how many times I'm gonna need this. Okay, so here's how I do patterns, right? So you have your thing, you got it right in the middle. Then you duplicate it, make sure it's right in the middle still. And then you bring it halfway down, duplicate it again, make sure it's in the middle still. Bring it halfway up. Amazing. Lovely. Now you got all this extra space. Wow. And then also you could... Let me merge this like that. And you could even go from the middle to the side. side. Okay. This button. Put this in here for now. But yeah, so now we have all this extra space, right? And so we can add some more things. I think I'm gonna do for him, I'm gonna do a basketball and a pizza. I think. I'm gonna bring this to like here, I think. Yeah. And then also I'll probably do like some hearts, because the boy got the hearts. Yeah. This, and we have this color. Oops. Need a new layer. Trying to like get a line that's about as thick as the other line that I had before. Good enough. I did it like so perfect in the sketch because I was not even like even a little bit stressed out about it or trying really. Now that I have to do like, this is the final line, I'm like absolutely not gonna get it the right way. Oh well. Good night, Yin Yang. Get some sleep. Thanks for hanging out. Oop. That's nothing. Yeah. I could copy and paste that heart everywhere, but I don't really want to. Kind of just want to draw it every time. It's because it'll give it a little more variation this way. Oop. But how's everybody doing? I hope everyone is well. I haven't asked that yet this stream. I hope you're all doing great. Hope you had a great weekend and your week is off to a wonderful start. Got vaccinated? Nice. Is it your first or your second? Arm hurts. I feel you. Work rate, please. Why must you do this to me? Oh. First dose? Gotcha. My first dose also hurt my arm for like a good day and a half. I'm just gonna put everything, all the sketches and stuff into, actually no, that wasn't even where the sketch goes. I'll just go down here. Sketch. Yeah. Let's see. All these end up looking with this color. It's not so bad. Let's say this color for this. We'll see. Might change this. I haven't fully decided. I've decided. That's not what I wanted at all. That's a little better. This seems like it might be a cheese color. I should be doing this on a new layer so that I can change the color more easily. But I've already started and I'm stubborn, so it's not happening now. Perhaps my hubris will show up here in a second to make me regret this. But until then, it's not. So I don't. Yeah, that's fine. If I wanted to get like really fancy with it, I could add a bunch of like gradients here. Whoops. For this like cheese texture or whatever. But this is meant to be a pattern that is like simple and easily repeatable. But I don't want to get too ambitious with it. It seems fine. Basketball color. Plan on sharing. I mean, you can have some pizza if you want. I'm not gonna stop you. Though it is two-dimensional drawing pizza, so I would recommend perhaps some actual pizza. So I'm gonna grab one of these and put those in here. And then I'm gonna flatten this down. So then you can basically just keep repeating this process to make sure that A, everything lines up, and B, that you've filled in the amount of space that you want to fill in. Hey, look at that, everything lines up. Fantastic. And I can check this again. Going this way as well. And when I do this, the two tanks should be where we started. With all that extra stuff there now. Lovely. I'm gonna put this, actually I don't need that anymore. I don't need that one. I'm gonna put a couple more hearts in here, I think. That's too big. Oh wait, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do some stars. just to kind of more evenly distribute some of this cheese color. Mostly because it pops like a lot on the pizza. Twitter header vibes. I could put it there, I guess. That's the great thing about patterns like this, is that like since they repeat, you can basically put them wherever you want without having to worry about if it's going to be the right size or dimensions. Trying to like fill in spots to make sure that they're not like empty, but at the same time I don't want to go overboard is what I'm currently running into. Also, I should mention, when you're using this method, whatever layer you're currently drawing, like these stars that I'm doing right now, you want to make sure that they don't exceed the boundaries of your image. Because it's not going to line up properly with the other side. So if you really want to make sure that stuff is lining up, you have to do this whole duplication thing again. To get stuff that'll blow off the side of the page in a way that will properly align with the other side of the page. Also, this is a not as annoying procedure to do in Procreate because of the whole snapping feature. Other programs do this too, of course, but yeah, having stuff kind of snap is very helpful for making sure that everything is in the right spot, you know? Just trying to, again, make sure that everything kind of feels like it's reasonably filled out. I don't want too many spots that have, like, no stars in them. While at the same time, I'm trying to make sure I don't have too many stars all over the place. But I feel like I've definitely done that, so. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna put this back to the way it was. Yeah, good enough. So now that it's like all kind of put together, a neat thing that you can do is, we got 4 of them now, so keep it on uniform and put them, and shrink it down a little and put it in like each little square, and they all should line up still. But I guess I'll find out. Oh, wait, actually, before I do that, let me make one that's full size so I don't have too many teeny tiny ones. And yeah, look at that. Wow. Right on cue for the stretching as well. But yeah, so that is how I make patterns. And it's pretty fun, but also not something that takes like an incredibly long time. Get rid of these. We'll bring this up here. Let's call this tank. And then call this pattern 1. Let's do another one. This time I'm feeling a Jessie. Because of course I am. Yeah, just for the sake of continuity, I'm gonna make his head this way, even though I usually hate drawing Jessie from this side. Because of his hair, usually. Facing left, turnip. Because his hair is parted on the far side of him when he's facing this way. It always ends up looking weirder than I would like. What I sometimes will do is put a part on this side just for the sake of like making it consistent. Those never look right. You mean when you have them drawn from the left? Opposite way that you're used to. I feel you. Flip it again. Facing at the viewer. Nope, I lied. This way, though. I'm gonna flip this back because Jesse is one that gets confusing when I flip him and don't swap back. This is too big. Jesse's big goofy faces are always like so much more fun to draw big. I tend to make his head like way too big when I draw him being embarrassed. Fine. Joystick and a kitty? Maybe. I might do like simplified versions of those things. And I might end up changing his face as well. Okay, let's do this color for his lines. Oh, that's too big. What? Oh. Good enough. Oh. There we go. Maybe. Too close to his eyebrow. So I kind of hate drawing Jesse's head like on its own sometimes because his like neck and shoulders are like the only things that usually prevent him from looking like he's got a mullet. With the way his hair kind of sticks out in the back. That's not exactly the look I'm going for with this boy. Mullets are in again for some reason right now. I feel like I've spoken about this before on stream, but I'm still not a fan of that haircut. TBH. Mostly because it almost always just kind of, to me, looks like you just kind of have like a lazier mohawk going on because you didn't want to like put your hair up and stuff. I know that is not the case, but that is usually how it appears. To me. A casual onlooker. You got a mullet? Again, I'm not knocking the mullet. It's just not my style. Bear boy, hello. How are you? Maybe I just don't like it because I could never actually wear one. My hair's too curly. So for me, it would never look good no matter what I did. Maybe it's been secret jealousy this whole time, who knows? Get rid of this little downturn here. Curly hair can be awesome. It's nice because I never really have to do anything. I used to hate it a lot when I was younger. Because curly hair is like harder to draw. So you don't see it a lot. Cartoons. So I would always be like, why can't I have straight hair like all the cartoons? Oh, I forgot to do this. That's fine. What if I just do like a... kind of like that a little better. No. I think this eye is too close. Almost too far that way. Yeah, that's fine. Oops. Gotta flip this back before I get all confused. I think maybe I will I was like having second thoughts about the part in his hair. If I want to have both of them like on the same side, but I think I'm gonna treat it the same as Tank's little cowlicks in the back. Which I kind of do sometimes, but not all the time. Anyways. Which is just that like, it doesn't matter what side they're on, you can just always kind of see them. They're like Mickey Mouse ears. Where no matter which way Mickey is facing, they are always just two circles that don't overlap fully or like really much at all. Because it's not like I'm currently animating these boys, so I don't really have that to worry about. Like the only time that rule generally breaks down and looks weird is if you have to do like a head turn of some kind. And I'm not doing that right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. Good enough. Actually, get rid of this mouth. That's a little better. Ugh. Spikes and curb lines. It's the way to go. Oh man, speaking of spikes, I'm kind of excited about the new Cowboy Bebop movie, now that they've released some of those pictures. I wasn't sure how the cast was gonna look with the live action stuff, but it looks pretty good. It's looking pretty nice. I feel like I need to rewatch that, like, before I go see the movie. It's usually like a disaster, though, doing that sort of thing to yourself. Because then you'll just be like, oh, this isn't at all what this was. Size not quite right. Good enough. Glasses. Oh. Let's bring this a little closer. Oh, Red Dracula and then saw Keanu Reeves. I feel like that's like almost to be expected though with something as like old as Dracula, you know what I mean? It's never gonna be exactly that, unfortunately. Oh man, but that does remind me, I don't know why, but that reminds me of that old Romeo and Juliet movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. I got to watch that in school once, because we had like just read the play, and it was like in modern day, but they still spoke like Shakespearean English. It was so strange. I saw a thing about that the other day about how it was like one of the most accurate tellings of that story though. I kind of want to watch it again just to see like how it is, rather than being like a stupid teen that I was at the time and being like, ugh, why can't they just talk normal? Not appreciating it for what it was. Soundtrack slaps. Man, maybe I will have to go seek this out. I just distinctly remember like the very opening. Oh, hold on. Stretch timer. Yeah, I like distinctly remember the the opening where there's like a line about like draw your sword, and then they show like a close-up of a dude with a gun, and the gun says sword on it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be silly. Oh, I forgot his eyebrows in here. What a fool I was. Ah. Old one from the 60s. Was that good though, or was it like was that like a retelling, or is it like a reimagining, I guess? Not a huge fan of that tangent there, but can't really do anything about it at this point. I mean, I could, but I don't want to. I'm just gonna hope it doesn't bother me too much later. Period costumes, whoa. I feel like that's the unfortunate thing about everybody. When you're a teen, you just kind of hate things for no reason that would probably be good otherwise. That's fine. There's a scene in that show Barry on HBO where they do like a little bit of Macbeth in the first season. And that scene always makes me want to like not read Macbeth, because I don't like reading things. But I do always want to like go and revisit the story of Macbeth after that. It's just like a very good scene. If you have no intentions of watching that show, I would say to seek out that scene, because it's worth it. Audiobook? Nah. The main, like, issue most of the time is that I just don't, like, Shakespeare in English in particular, you have to be, like, in a mindset to be like, okay, I'm gonna have to decipher some things here. Because nobody talks like this anymore. So it's, like, far too much effort for me. A guy who doesn't read things already to begin with. Unless it's like comics. Unless they're like the only thing I read. Comics and like stupid meme threads on Twitter. That's about it. Lex, hello. Welcome. background. I usually give him this color shirt. So this will be our background color. We're making patterns this time, Lax. Did one for Tank a second ago, so I'm doing one for Jesse now. It's like 10 o'clock already, so I may not have time for a third one, unfortunately. But depending on how these are received, maybe I will do another one some other time. Because these are pretty fun sometimes to do. Cool Discord stickers, maybe. Maybe, perhaps. Might make a slightly lighter version of this color for the background that I'm using. The little pop-up thingy on the bottom reminded me I spent a lot of time messing with this iPad today. I'm like a digital pack rat where I don't like to delete anything ever, because I'm always like, what if I need this later? It'll save me time. I don't have to draw something as much for a thing. So I have, well, before today I had every one of my like daily drawings that I had ever done on this iPad. Like all the ones that I did on this iPad were still on this iPad. But I'm like at my space limit, unfortunately. I deleted all the ones from the first year that I had this after saving them elsewhere. And then I deleted like a bunch of other things on here too. So this iPad is basically it's basically Procreate and nothing else. Because there was this other app that looked kind of cool, so I downloaded it, but then it was like, hey, you don't have any space for anything anymore. So I couldn't like... It got to the point where it was like, free up some space, and then I would go press the button to free up space, and then it would just crash, because it would be like, you have 0 space left. You can't do anything. It was a real bummer. This color. I'll do this here. But yeah, I've been like on the fence about upgrading my iPad. And I'm like basically convinced that I'm going to do it. Unless something like terrible happens and I have to upgrade something else instead. But I'm trying to wait until September. Because when I bought this iPad, it was like right before Apple announced a new iPad that has like a much less annoying pen and everything. So I was like, well, I don't want that to happen ever again. And they usually announce stuff in September, so Procreate, please, give me, thank you. Procreate? Okay. But they usually announce stuff mid-September, so I was like, I'm gonna wait until mid-September. Even though I don't think they're gonna talk about a new iPad right now, but I don't want to take that chance again. If they do talk about one, it would probably just be like, here's the one that we just released, but in a new color for some reason. Plan on selling? No, I do not, unfortunately. I was considering it, kind of, but I had been talking about it, and my mom was like, you could give me your old one. And I was like, I guess, Mom. I guess you can have it. so I will probably not be selling this one. I'm gonna format it to stock settings and give it away. But I mention all that to say that, like, after seeing the specs for the newer ones, didn't realize, like, how little space I actually have on this, on this iPad. I think it's only, like, 256 gigs or something, which is pretty impressive that I haven't run out of space until, like, this year. I've had it for this long, and I've been drawing every day with it. But the newer ones come in like 1 and 2 terabyte versions, so I was like, kind of blown away. Like, oh man, it took me that long to fill this one up. I can just put stuff on those ones forever, basically. And by the time it'll be full is when I'll get another one again. Move this up here so it's not in the way of his beard. And actually, I'm gonna move his frown a little to be over here. Yeah. I know I can do this other thing. That wasn't. Wait, is this the right layer? Oh, it was this one. But yeah, maybe I'll like have, once I upgrade, the ability to get some more space and play some games on here like I used to. I didn't play very many games, but I did have the ability to do so. Now I don't really have that ability at all anymore. Although the biggest game that I had on here was Final Fantasy IX, and I didn't finish it. Like, I didn't really even come close. Which just sort of goes to show how often I even played games on this thing. But in my defense, having to, like, play a game that requires a controller and using a touchscreen to do it is not super fun. And I didn't feel like carrying around another controller, basically. I also still need to beat 9, fair boy. I keep meaning to, because it's like one of the ones that everyone's like, oh, this one's the best one. But then I guess everyone kind of says that about every Final Fantasy game, so. But mostly because Vivi is in that one. And I know like next to nothing about this character, who is like the quintessential black mage, essentially. I just know that they're apparently like a very good character. But that's about it. Because I haven't really played the whole thing. The spot that I ended was like right when you first meet that character as well. So I was like, oh, dang. Tragedy. Every group has their best interest. True, true, true. And yeah, apparently Vivi has like a very, very good story. But I didn't make it very far. Because playing on an iPad is not the most fun experience. I want the Steam Deck to be good. I didn't pre-order it because I I've been burned by pre-orders too many times in the past, and I've learned my lesson. So I never pre-order things in the gaming world anymore. Or in the tech world, I guess. But I want it to be good so that I can actually go out and buy it. My main thing about it is I want it to be able to, because they were like, you can play any game on Steam, right? And I want that to include Final Fantasy 14, so I can actually sit down and play it. Because there's so many times where I'm like, oh man, I would play this game a lot more if I could just play it while laying down. Instead of the closest that I can get is reclining with a controller, which isn't the worst option, but I would much rather be full on half asleep in my bed while running around doing quests. So if that does work, then I will play that game at some point. This, I'm now realizing, is the wrong color for his eyes. Okay. Yes, it was. This whole time. Trying to think of what the game was that I was I guess I'm just not gonna pre-order anything anymore. Oh, it was Anthem. I was just about to pre-order that game, and then it was this game don't look like it's gonna do so good. And then it didn't. And I was kind of bummed about it. It was so fun to play. The concept of it was fun to play, I guess I should say. I played it at a PAX, I think, one time. I don't remember. I played it once, and then it came out in beta, and then I could play it on my actual PC. And then when I did it that time, it was not working, basically at all. So I was oh, I guess I'm not getting this game. And then it came out, and it was not the greatest, which is unfortunate. Oh, I need his glasses. His glasses. It's there's a reason that I'm keeping this on a separate layer. I couldn't quite remember why. But yeah, Anthem and what was it? Mass Effect, Andromeda were the two where I was oh, yeah, no more pre-ordering things in the gaming world for me anymore. Unless I'm absolutely 100% sure that I'm going to buy it immediately. And it has a very good pre-order bonus. If those two things are not met, then I'm not going to spend money on a thing before I can see what other people think about it. I agree, Silver. It'll be neat to see what someone who is not Nintendo does with a gaming on the go device, because Nintendo, I love them. They're wonderful. But boy howdy, they just don't understand certain things about games online and playing with friends. So stuff like that is always an area of improvement for Nintendo. In my experience. I'm going like way too hard in his glasses, I think, but don't care. Put all those together. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit more. Gonna add one more reflection for his eyes, I guess. Oop. Oh yeah, I know that thing that you're talking about vaguely. I don't remember what it's called, but I do remember seeing it. Yeah, it's pretty neat looking. Also, I'm gonna lighten up this background a little. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Something like that, I think. Playdate. Yeah. Okay, so... I want to sort of wiggle this a little closer to him. Okay, now for the fun part. Make sure those are centered. Flatten that. Make sure that's on uniform. Make sure it's still centered. Bring it straight down. Oh wait, I've gone too far. Still centered. Oh. Oh. There we go. One of my favorite things about doing patterns like this is that sometimes it's like really hard to notice how much empty space you've got in your composition like this. The stretch timer has chimed again. Okay. What am I drawing again? Yeah, set a cat. And a controller, I think. Center is like roughly here. Giving this cat some short whiskers because I don't feel like having it get way in the way of everything. Okay. We got, say it's like that, and like that. Bring those out here. Get those shoulder buttons up a little. I've decided now it's a PlayStation controller. Oh, I guess I could just look at this one that's next to me, huh? That would have been a much smarter move. I guess it's more of a circle. Although, do I want to do the controller? Because this boy is usually like a keyboard and mouse kind of guy. You know? But I feel like drawing a keyboard and mouse is just asking for like more effort that I don't want to do. So, controller it is, I guess. Whoops. Gotta use the right brush. Nope. 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 That's a little bit better. Not good enough. Do a mouse because it'll be a visual pun. Oh, dang. You're right. Curse you. How dare you make such a good point? I'm gonna have to. I've got to now. I don't wanna though. It's the thing. It's so much work. That's like the worst feeling when it's like, oh man, this would be so good, but now I have to actually do the thing. What a drag. Because then you know if you don't do the thing, you're just going to be like, oh, but what if I did the thing? It would have been so much cooler if I did the thing. So you end up doing the thing that's like way more work, even though you don't really want to. Because you know if you don't, then you're going to regret it. Maybe that's just a me thing, but it does happen frequently for me. So who knows? Alright, so I guess I gotta figure out how this works. Whoops. Do I want to have the mouse connected to the keyboard or just kind of floating in space? I kind of just want it to be floating in space. Something like that. I feel like Tank would definitely use the line if they were actually going to cook something, just for the sake of annoying Jesse. But he wouldn't, like, do it frequently. If that makes sense. Like, he wouldn't go super out of his way to make the joke. I hate drawing keyboards because it's so much to do. Maybe I'll just be lazy about it and not fully fill it in. He's not getting a full keyboard either. I was considering it, but I decided not to. Getting a 3/4. Is that what those are? 3/4 keyboard? Doesn't matter. That's what he's getting. Maybe I'll give him like a little thing up here to show that he's like a super cool gamer. I guess. I don't like this chord being where it is. Put that over here. Don't like that. Nope. That's fine. Fine, I guess. Very basic looking computer. No, that feels like it would be even more work somehow. So then I would be like, oh, but he's like a gamer, software developer guy. So he would have like tons of RGB everywhere. He's that guy. And it would feel silly to not have those things. I've decided not to give him that little extra nubbin thing at the top. Do I want to actually draw this keyboard like an actual keyboard is what I'm currently like debating in my head right now. I feel like I kind of have to, because otherwise it's not going to look right. But I really don't want to, is the thing. Because unfortunately, keyboards have like an annoyingly specific layout. Where if it's not accurate, you can tell immediately. So like part of me wants to just go completely like, no, this is not at all meant to be accurate about it. But at the same time, it's like not gonna look right even a little bit. Unless I kind of give it some sort of accuracy. Alright, so what I think I'm gonna do is like in between. We're gonna do some stuff. Where we just kind of have a few of them sort of accurate on here. Thank you, Bear Boy. I'm glad that you thought so. I try to, whenever I have to draw like longer lines like this especially, try to get it so that it's not completely like straight, because unless you're using like a grid system of some kind, it's gonna come out wobbly. But if you're using like a grid system, then it's gonna come out like kind of flat, I guess, in my opinion. Like it can be more accurate, but it'll sort of look a little less interesting, like not as cartoony, I guess, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's not exactly the style I want for this. So as long as you kind of have it as like a slightly curved line, and that line is like following your natural curve, like of your wrist, basically, or your arm, you can get a lot smoother of a line by just sort of going slow and following your body's like natural curve, I guess. All things considered, it's not like terrible. I just didn't want to do it. This keyboard and mouse. Like, I don't hate it. It's probably the best keyboard I've ever drawn, honestly, which is pretty unfortunate for me. But at the same time, yeah. It's not terrible. I don't hate it completely. So that's cool, I guess. This is our sketch layer. Okay, so... Oh, I forgot. He needs a thing. Oh. Tank had hearts, so we're gonna give him skulls because he's that guy. I was thinking of like lightning bolts for him, but skulls are definitely like the way to go, I think. And then maybe instead of the little sparkles, I'll do lightning bolts or something. These all kind of feel too close together. I don't know. Also, I'm kind of just trying to put these skulls like where I think they should go based on what the composition looks like right now and not what the sketch was. Actually, let me get rid of this because it's in the way of some skulls. This. Oh no. Like over here, I think. I think that is what I will do. Take this one, put it like here. This one, like here. I'll definitely have some space to do more, so I'm gonna do more of them once I sort of do this repeating pattern, I guess. This line I think is too big. Good enough. Part of me wants to put on some like emo music now, but I can't because Twitch. Ugh, such a tragedy. Not even like some emo music, maybe just like some Dance Gavin Dance or something. I don't know if that counts as emo. I don't count it as emo though. Just like rock in general, I guess. Like I mean what I would be listening to, not what I count that band as. I'm bad at like identifying genres of music, I've come to find. I just kind of like what I like. But if you ask me, like, what's your favorite genre of music, I will never have an answer for you. I can name, like, a bunch of bands that I like, or whatever. But generally, they're all kind of different, depending on what it is I'm doing or feeling. So if you're like, hey, what kind of genre of music do you like? I'll be like, this is what I'm listening to right now. Or like, This is what I listen to when I'm feeling like this. Or whatever. This is basically what I was going to do for Roz, by the way. But instead of skulls, it was going to be aliens. Or like UFOs or something. Maybe I'll still have time to do that some other day. Good enough. Okay, so now I can put this away. And fill in this layer with these colors. I feel like the other thing I could have done instead of like keyboard and mouse would just be like a cell phone, because I feel like of all the boys I draw, he's the one who's on his phone the most. No, Roz is definitely just like cryptids in general. But he likes aliens the most, probably. But it's just generally like conspiracy theories and things he's into. This color. Wait, this color. I don't think I'm gonna bother like actually fully coloring in the keyboard and mouse. But I guess it kind of balances out because I didn't really color in like a ton of other stuff for the basketball for tank. So it kind of works. It's kind of even. Beginning to get warm in my room again. But I don't want to turn on the air conditioner because it's loud. It'll ruin the acoustic experience, I guess. Oh, stretch time. Okay. adjust the line for the cable on this mouse here in a second. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. But just to sort of make it so that it doesn't end in like a finer point than the rest of the lines, if that makes sense. Like that. Oh, need nose color. I think it's usually lighter than that, actually. I'm trying to get this, like, the number of layers kind of under control, I guess. I don't want to have too many unnecessary layers. Especially for this, like, background pattern situation. Yeah, exactly, Silver. I mean, I have like a, what's it called? Like a noise gate, I guess, on my microphone. So like it won't kick in until I start talking, which is what I kind of had to do the last time I streamed and had my AC on, because it was like a lot. Is this all I want to do for now for here? I think so. Okay. But yeah, it's like annoyingly loud, unfortunately. Oh no, I did it wrong somewhere. Where these aren't perfectly aligned. Right, so I'm gonna hit undo a couple times. I'm basically just gonna redo this and then add those skulls and stuff again. Pretty much. Oh, I think I know what the deal is. Do I want to do this right now is what I'm currently questioning. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it like this. The issue is that aligning the layer itself to halfway down the page wasn't fully working because the layer itself was not the full size of the page, unfortunately. But hopefully doing it this way should fix that. Because I'm grabbing this background layer, which is the full size of the page. need this to snap in place, please. I think that might be fine, but I'm not sure. It is hard to tell. Oh, gotta do this again. Okay. This is boding a little bit better because the alignment was close before but not spot on, and the fact that these are slightly differently aligned but not completely off is good, because that means we definitely fixed our alignment at least somewhat. Now it's just a matter of kind of getting everything to sort of look like it kind of goes together. Luckily, I can just sort of grab everything from the layer with the skulls and such on it all in one go, so I don't have to redo too many things. Oops. I have to move stuff. Tired Coffee, hello. Welcome. You've made it. But we're like kind of sort of at the end. Not fully, but like we're getting there. Maybe just grab another skull. Not like completely fully, but just do. Oh. But we're making some patterns, so it's not like a ton of things left to do for this. Sorry if my speaking's a little bit funky. I'm focusing on trying to make these skulls kind of appear evenly distributed and not look like they're following too much of a preset pattern. That seems fine. I'm gonna move this over here though. Now I have to good enough. Merge that back down. Merge that back down. Okay. So now I should be able to where is it? Here it is. Okay. Just gonna keep this layer for now in case I need to do that again. But hopefully everything is relatively in place so that I don't have to do that again. So you need to snap this halfway down, snap this halfway up, and this should line up. Okay. And then do it again, but this time with the left and right. And hopefully it will, once again, line up. Seems good to me. Okay, so now I wanna... What was I gonna put on here? Like some lightning bolts or something, I think. I don't know why I'm trying to select a color when I can just... I don't know if I like that is the thing. Maybe just more stars again? That's something? Wi-Fi signals? Wi-Fi signals? Oh no! Is good. Is what I was trying to say. I thought I had all this on a new layer, on its own layer, but that was wrong. Okay. So those are like 3 lines, yes. 3 and a dot. 2, 3. Three. Turns out these are a little more particular than I initially expected. As is the case with most things. And just like before, I want to make sure I'm not getting anything that goes off the edge. Because it'll mess with our alignment stuff. These are pretty fun to draw once you kind of get the rhythm of it. Thank you, Coffee. I am glad that you like it. Let's get one kind of going this way. Actually, this is gonna look weird, I think. I'll try it and see. It doesn't look as weird as I was expecting. The reason I thought it might look weird is because most things are sort of oriented in an upward, like a vertical position to go with his face. Not a lot of things are like rotated in such a way that it would be upside down if you were looking at his face normally. So I thought it might look weird to rotate some of these symbols like upside down or something. Put another one here. Too big already. That's fine. Wi-Fi enabled cat. It's true. Alright, I'm gonna merge that down, because I can. And we're gonna do one more pass with these Wi-Fi symbols. Going in this direction. I keep like wanting to lean forward to draw and then remember that I have a camera above me, so I'm trying really hard not to get my head all up in the shot. It hasn't happened yet as far as I'm aware, but I still kind of find myself being like, wait, hold on, stop. Hold on a second. Alright, are there any other spots that kind of feel a little too empty? Let's put maybe one more here. And over here. That's too close to the same one that's like right next to it. Honestly, that seems pretty okay. I'm gonna put this back to the way it was, so that his faces are the parts that are uncropped by the sides. Like how Tank's is. Go. Go. There we go. And then just like before, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna save one of these normal size boys, but just for the funsies, we're gonna how it looks when it's all repeated and stuff. Oh. But yeah, I think that looks pretty neat. these together. Pattern 2. Yeah. I didn't save one of these that has this all like repeated and stuff, so I'm gonna do that again. Or mostly because I'm not sure which one I want to post. Part of me wants to do it this way though, just so that you can see that it's like a repeating pattern. So yeah, we got a couple patterns now. How fun. Got a basketball boy and a blushy boy. Wow. Since I basically drew them in the same kind of general location, you can just kind of roughly swap them back and forth. But yeah, so there you go. There's some boys. Patterns are fun and they work really well for stuff. So maybe I'll put these on like Redbubble or something like I did with the last pattern I made. And then maybe also like some wallpaper size type stuff somewhere. I'm not really sure where I would even put those though, because compression on social media is the worst. But I guess since these are like kind of sort of in the same spot, I will. Where is here? Whoop. The J never looks right unless I put the A up. Goofy like. If you're wondering why the A in my signature is always way high, that is why. Okay. Gonna put this here. And then do another one here. Put it on the keyboard. Oh no, this is misaligned slightly. The stretch alarm went off again, but I'm not going to worry about it. Yes, I am going to redo these because that slight misalignment is going to bother me for the end of time. I'm just hoping it was because of a scale thing and not because I did the pattern wrong. Because if it's the former, then this should fix it. But if it's not this, then unfortunately for me. What is happening here? Hello? Is this not scaled down properly? These things should be lining up right here. I'm not sure. I think I'm just confused because there's still more behind it. Let me fix this right. Yeah, that was probably it. Okay. One of these things is too small. It was this one. Something isn't right here. Something is not correct. None of these seem to be awkwardly not aligned correctly. So it must just be a scale thing. Okay, these seem fine now. I think the problem is just that I kept getting too, like, carried away and trying to do them all at once. Rather than go slow and do it the right way. Let that be a lesson to ye. Sometimes it's better to get it right the first time. Okay, I'm not seeing any weird misalignments, so I think I'm good on this one. Good and cool. And I'm gonna put my name here. But yeah, so that's these. I guess I will do the usual thing of just deleting a pixel here. I don't know that I really need to, but I'm going to. That has stuff in it. They all have stuff in it. Tragedy. Just gonna have to go to this other layer too. They all got pizza in the corner. But yeah, so that's these boys. Maybe I'll do more of them at some point, probably. We'll see. This took a little longer than I was expecting. I was hoping to get like 3 of them done before this stream was over, but I guess that just means more for next time. Wow. But yeah, so that'll be it from me for this time, I guess. As always, you can check out the finished stuff on Twitter and Instagram when I post those there momentarily. I should be back on Wednesday, probably, to stream something else. And if you want to watch any of these streams on a time that I'm not actually live, you can do so on YouTube. Except for the most recent stream. That one exists only on Twitch for the subs, because I want to give people who sub some stuff sometimes. But yeah, so once again, I don't know how to end the stream. So I guess let's go raid Bear Boy, because he was here a second ago. Let's do that. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I hit the wrong button. Here we go. Hold on. Wait. There we go. There's the button. Okay. Yeah. We did it. Okay. But yeah, good night, everybody. I'll see you guys some other time. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. May everything go well for you. And yeah, go do something nice for someone. And let people do nice things for you as well, I guess. Yeah. I'm so bad at ending streams. Okay. Good night, everyone. I'll see you next time.